So most of the subscribers that I have here on our channel, they end up having a Lone Star Grillz offset stick burner or cabinet smoker for that matter too. If you're interested in making sausage on how to make sausages on your LSG or any offset stick burner for that matter, follow along and I'll go ahead and give you the best tips that I can give you in regards to making them. So let's go. So we got this pre-trimmed brisket that I've had for quite some time, right? So I wanted to say, you know what? I don't feel like making a brisket or anything like that, especially a select brisket. I got a couple primes, you know, for other videos and stuff like that. So I said, you know what? It's been a while since I've done a beef sausage, so let's go ahead and get to it. Let's go ahead and cut this off. And it doesn't matter if I score it or anything like that. It's all turning into sausage. And all we're doing here, man, is just cutting it up into cubes for our grinder. That's really it, man. I mean, there's really not much else to it. All right, so that's how we have it. Now, the way that I cut it up was in just small little cubes. Again, you can make them a lot bigger if your grinder is a lot bigger, obviously. But since mine is medium size, I cut them up into medium size. All right, so let's go ahead and get to grinding. There we go. So got this out of the freezer. Make sure this is nice and cold so that your entire meat and everything stays nice and cold. We also went ahead and sprayed some oil on the inside. Make sure everything is nice and lubricated. So let's go ahead and dive right in. There it is, boys. That's 12¼ pounds right there. Let's go ahead and get to seasoning. And I almost forgot, boys, the jalapeno. We're gonna go ahead and do 8 with seeds on them. See how that goes. So here's what we have for seasonings. We got mustard seeds, garlic powder, salt, paprika, ground black pepper, pink curing salt, meat church, voodoo. That should be it, man. Let's go ahead and mix it up. All right, so I got my wife's mixture in here. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and cover this right over here because I don't want any spillage. Let's see if it works. There we go. Working pretty good. All right, so let's go ahead and add the seasonings. Let's go ahead and mix this thing up. Every now and then, scoop this up a little bit. But since we have more meat, I'm gonna try and see if I can pack it in here, man. It might not be a good idea, but I'm gonna give it a shot. All right, think it'll do it? Oh yeah. All right, here we go. Let's hope, man, that everything turns out well. I don't want to be sleeping in the doghouse today. All right, let's go. Better than I expected, man. The last thing that I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna go ahead and add this cheese right over here, bro. It's not gonna be a lot. I've learned that when you go overly cheesy, I mean, you get excited whenever you do, you know, cheese sausages and stuff like that. So you tend to go a little bit overboard, right? You add a whole bunch and it's good, it's great, but then it starts getting not overpowering, but just too cheesy, if that even exists, man. So I just went ahead and I put about 1/4 of a bag. I'm not sure how much that is, but I'm eyeing it a little bit, so that's all I'm gonna add for now, man. You know, we want it cheesy, sure. We don't want to make it into a cheese sausage. We just want it to complement it a little bit. Got this out of the freezer. Now, I would have done it right off the bat, but we ended up getting caught up in that freeze deal, man. So I did end up trying a patty for breakfast this morning. Let me tell you, man, if you do biscuits and you add one of these sausages, get you an egg, bro, you're gonna end up with something phenomenal for breakfast. So now let's go ahead and put this bad boy right in and get to it. Now, One thing I would recommend 100%, getting some of these clamps right over here. They're phenomenal. They work great. And yeah, man, they just do a really good job. Mainly because when you're cranking it, you know, this tends to tip over a little bit, so that prevents it. All right, so we're gonna go with your regular casings. In this case, it's the casings from PS Seasonings. I got the whole hank. We're gonna go ahead and wash this off a little bit. This has been sitting here in the water for the last, I don't know, 30 minutes or so. All right, so now that we got this, we're gonna crank it down some. There you go, that's about it. That way we can flush any air that we have. Tie a little knotty knot. Make it nice and firm, but not too firm. We don't want to pop it. And you can feel it. I think that's a good size right there. Now, one of the methods that I always use is towards me. All right, pay attention to that. And I roll up until you can feel it nice and firm, where it doesn't really leave an indentation. You can put a shit in and it comes right back out. So towards me. All right. Now towards you. This one I could have done a little bit firmer. It's all right. All right. So this one I did towards me. This one's towards you. The other one is obviously going to be towards me. And there it is, folks. We got two big old trays full of sausages. If I had to take a guess, I'm assuming somewhere between 15, maybe 16 pounds or so, give or take. But we made quite a bit. Let's go ahead and leave these overnight so that the casing can dry out a bit in the fridge. We'll see you tomorrow. It's gonna take a while for this thing to warm up. Look at the temperature right over here, bro. Look at that. All right, so the outside temperature is about 28 degrees. That's not that common down here in South Texas, but we're gonna go ahead and make it work. All right, boys, time to go ahead and put a decent oak log. See that? So I'm just gonna put it right in here, and this is what's gonna give us all that flavor, man. You know, we don't want it scorching hot or anything like that. We just want all that smoke. All right, so that should do it. All right, so the temperatures are finally kicking in. The temperature is about 140 or so, give or take. So let's go ahead and start putting these things in. So I'm gonna put some of these thick boys right towards the front because they're gonna be able to go ahead and take a little bit more of that fire action, but shouldn't be a problem. I've done sausages many times on the Lone Star Grillz, and I've never had an issue when it comes to temperatures, sausages, stuff like that. So I don't foresee anything bad going on. That ought to do it for the bottom rack. Let's go for the top one. This Lone Star Grillz, man, it has served me very well. I can't really complain too much about it. When I first got it, I always remove this top one so I can do the briskets and everything down here. And sometimes I kind of beat myself up a bit because I always thought, man, I paid too much money for this top rack. I rarely use it. Let me tell you, man, the more you cook Like in my case, I've had cases where this one blew out a little bit, but no worries. We're gonna use that as our sacrificial sausage to probe. I've had to do multiple briskets in the past. This rack really helps out. Same thing with ribs. With ribs, it's a must. But I honestly think another blowout. We'll sacrifice this one. We'll put it over here. I honestly think that with sausages, both racks, top and bottom, I think this is a 100% a must. If you have a Lone Star Grillz or any offset stick burner for that matter, and you have 2 racks, take advantage of it, man, because you're really gonna like it. All right, so we're gonna keep it around 140 degrees, give or take, and we'll let it go for maybe about 2.5 hours, and we'll go from there. All right, boys, so about 2 hours has passed by. Let's go ahead and check out these sausages. Oh man, look at that. Look at the color on them. Let me go ahead and put this camera right over here so you can fully capture everything. Look at that, man. All right, so now it's time to go ahead and flip them on over. So I ended up putting the ones that bursted on me on this side, just in the event that the heat was a little bit too much. But at about 140 degrees, it's very hard to go ahead and burn them out, even if the firebox is pretty close. I mean, it's very low temperature. I think one of the last times that I put the sausages in here, I think it was a kielbasa video, and I'll go ahead and put it right over here. And on that one, I hung all the sausages in here with some hooks. I didn't feel like doing that on this one because these aren't kielbasa style sausages. But if you check out that video, it's pretty awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and put them back in. And we're going to keep it still at around 140 degrees or so, give or take, for another 2 hours. And we'll see you guys in a bit. So it's been about 3 hours, not fully done just yet. But I wanted to take the time in here to go ahead and go over a few things that I've learned using the Lone Star Grillz for sausage making. First up, I think is the most important one. And if you guys haven't seen the videos that I have on almost every cook that I have on the Lone Star Grillz, I don't have any tuning plates. I think that helps out quite a bit. However, I do have a video right over here, and on that one I do have the tuning plates installed, even temps, all that good stuff. It still created really good sausages, but ever since I've been doing it without tuning plates, and if you're looking for that very rich smoke flavor, this is going to be the way that you're going to be able to go ahead and do it. So right now, we're still 3 hours in. We got some really good color on both sides. So that's really good, but I'm still going to give it 1 more hour. All I'm doing right now is making sure that the entire progress is going really well, that all the sausages, they're getting the color that we're looking for, all right? And that's pretty much it, man. I mean, there's really nothing much to it. Just got to make sure that everything is in good shape. There's no blowouts. There's no hot spots causing anything, any issues or anything like that. So far, so good. And we're still going to, right now, I'm keeping it around 140 to about 155, give or take. And that's how we're going to do it. All right, guys, give us a bit, and we'll see you guys in a bit. One other thing, boys. I still have that one log in there. It's kind of hard to see because of the smoke, but it's still there. It's been 3 hours, still rocking. So if you have one big dense log or whatever, it's gonna work for you, man. All you got to do is just really build a nice decent coal bed, and everything else is gonna work out in your favor. Make sure I have this thing dampened down about 1/3. Same thing on the stack side, so that really helps me. So hopefully it helps you. 4 hours is completed, and look at what we got. Look at that, boys. Look at that. Look at the nice color that we got. Very nice. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put these in a cold, icy water bath. I don't know if you can hear that, but I got an ice chest right over here full of ice and water. And it's going to clean them. It's going to stop the cooking process. But most importantly, it's going to make the casing be that much snappier. If you guys try to make sausages, but the casing felt rubbery, it didn't bite through too well or anything like that, this step is definitely needed to assist with that. So now that we have all the sausages out, what we're going to do is we're going to turn up the temperature on this thing from 140, 150, give or take, to 275, 300 degrees so we can finish cooking them. But that's going to be within the next 5-10 minutes or so, give or take. So I'm going to go ahead and cook 3 of them for right now. And I think I'm going to cook them in the top. Just like so. All right. So we'll give these about 30 minutes at 275 or so, and it should work just fine. All right, so I just checked these. Not too long ago. But the way that you're able to go ahead and tell that they're done is if you try and squeeze it a bit and it feels like it's just about to burst, that's when you take them off. And you do that because once it feels like it's about to burst and pop, like the casing is about to explode, if you let it go for more longer than that, then what's going to happen is that the casing is just going to burst. All the juices and everything are going to come out, and you don't want that, man. All right, so this thing has been resting here for about, I don't know, about 4 or 5 minutes or so. Matter of fact, let's pop it, shall we? Ooh. Let's get a slice. Look at that. You got a little cheese action. Oh my God, it's good. It's nice. It's smoky. It's not too spicy. I mean, it's jalapeno, but we did add a lot of jalapenos in there. It has the right amount of flavor, the right amount of salt. Look at that, bro. Look at that. This is one of the reasons why I don't want to go heavy on the cheese, because sometimes it overpowers it. Look at that. Look at that mustard seed action right there, man. If you haven't tried out mustard seeds in a sausage, it's phenomenal. You got to give it a shot. And as always, guys, I have the calculator right in the description below. You enter the weight of the meat and it does everything else for you. I didn't use a binder this time, because I don't know why. I just wanted to do it more traditional. Oh, you saw that. I just wanted to do it a little bit more traditional without any binders and anything like that. I know some people are scared of not using binders and everything, but I mean, look at it. Just look at it, bro. Very nice tight binding. As long as you mix it real well, it should be fine. That just tastes amazing. If you want to get your feet wet in regards to making sausages and everything, and you got an LSG, or maybe you got something, maybe you got a stick burner or whatever the case may be, go ahead, give it a shot, man. What's the worst that can happen? You burst a couple of sausages, so what? You still cook it, you still eat it. At the end of the day, that's what it is, man. So, as always, I always leave everything in the description below. You enter the weight of meat in grams, and I have a calculator right there in there too, to convert from pounds to grams, and then it does everything for you, man. So give it a shot. I'm telling you 100% that this is going to be one of the best sausages that you're ever going to make, man. The right amount of salt, the right amount of seasonings, the right amount of pepper, the right amount of everything, man. It's pretty awesome. So be sure to go ahead and like, subscribe. See you in the next one. Later, guys.